Hello everybody, John here, and today on To The Garage, a little bit more car heaven, back at Gaydon, this time sharing some of my favourite Jaguar items. The British Motor Museum and the Jaguar Daimler Heritage Trust are not only motor museums, but they're conference centres and exhibition spaces as well. So there's all sorts of things that pop up from time to time. If you're a regular visitor to Gaydon, you'll notice that things change around and there's always something new to see. And in this episode of my Car Heaven series, a quick look at some of my favourite Jaguar related bits. They've got everything from Jaguar Formula E cars to Formula 1 cars. There's a fabulous collection of trophies at the British Motor Museum, and this is a trophy from the 24 Hour of Le Mans, and Jaguar took the award for biggest distance covered in 51, 53, 54. So they have a long and illustrious connection with that race. And the trophies from Le Mans are amazing. This is real art. I mean, check this beauty out. This is the overall winners trophy from 1951. Let's get to some of the cars. And what we're looking at here is an XFR prototype. So this is a 2008 car. The XF, this shape of vehicle, was launched in 2007. Paul Gentilossi has a race team in the States called Rocket, and he put this car together and ran it at Utah Salt Flats, sponsored by Jaguar, and at the time this was the fastest Jaguar in the world, running a speed of 225 miles per hour. That cracked the record of the Jaguar XJ13, which the next sort of clues in the name didn't quite make 220, but about 217 I think. The really interesting thing about the XF though is, although it's got the interior stripped, although it's got an upgraded supercharger, intake system, etc, 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 it is running the standard 5 litre V8 engine, internals, and the standard 6-speed automatic gearbox. It's got a parachute on the back, it's got some modified aero for the front lip, and you can see the mirrors have been removed and trimmed differently, a few other little tweaks, but essentially this is an XF. It's not a silhouette car, as I would call it. I also love that it's wearing Volan's wheels, which are my favourite XF wheels. Not common, I think they look really striking. And friend Simon from Projects in the Barn, he's got an XF at the moment, and I saw his XF on this particular trip. Hi Simon, it's got Volan's. Very jealous, very nice. Next up we got a 2003 S-Type race car. Now I've got to say the S-Type or X200 is a car, and until maybe just 5 years ago I didn't really admire it, but I think I've started to see more resto modded ones, more race car versions of it, and there's just something about the look I've warmed to all of a sudden, and I really quite crave the look right now. This particular car was the prototype for the diesel engine, first ever Jaguar diesel, and the development team decided it'd be a great idea to race prepare it and run it in the Nürburgring 24-hour diesel class race on the Nordschleife circuit. It was actually in 4th place when it crashed out in really bad weather. I do feel sorry for our American cousins who don't get to see many, if any, diesel powered Jaguars, because I've got to say they are an awesome breed all of their own. This is the Jaguar XJ13. It's a Le Mans prototype racer developed to smash everything at Le Mans, but it was developed in 1966 when Jaguar was busy trying to produce its XJ6, and it slowed things down so much that by the time this car was ready, it was outclassed by other cars from Ford and Ferrari. The regulations had moved on, and cars up to 3 litre could be one-offs. You had to build 50 if you're going to have anything over 3 litres, and this is a 5 litre V12. So it never raced, and this is the only one. The engine is the forerunner of the Jaguar XJ V12 engine that was developed for the XJ, but the engine in this is unique. And this particular car was used at press launch of the Jaguar E-Type at Myra, and was rolled by Jaguar's test driver Norman Dewis. When one of the tyres let go on the banking at a speed approaching 165 miles an hour, the car rolled many times and was completely destroyed. The legendary Norman walked away. So this car has been totally rebuilt and now lives in the museum. And we moved from a car that never raced to one that very much did. This is Jaguar Formula One's R1 car. This is the 2000 car driven by Eddie Irvine. It came 4th at Monaco. Jaguar took over the previous Stewart team, obviously backed by Ford, because Ford are very much in bed with Jaguar at this point. And the engine is a V10 Cosworth being another Ford owned, or at least part owned company. They also had Johnny Herbert as a driver, and this particular car develops 800 brake horsepower and can do 230 miles an hour. Unfortunately, Jaguar has since bowed out of Formula One racing. This stunner is a Jaguar XK120, and it is the Montfleury endurance record car. So this car attended endurance races, and it did a race at Montfleury near Paris and managed to achieve a 24-hour average speed of 107 miles per hour. Now imagine trying to do that today on a real racetrack with corners, and you've got to stop and get out and change people, but still average 107 for 24 hours. It's mighty impressive. Well, the same car then went on to attempt 7 days and 7 nights at a speed of 100 miles an hour average. It achieved 100.6 for 7 days straight. So successful was the XK120 as a motorsports weapon that Jaguar developed this, the XK120C, almost universally known as a C-type Jaguar. So in 1951, Jag made this car, a handmade version, lighter, stiffer, more capable XK120, and entered it into the Le Mans. It won. They entered the next year and came first, second and third. Only 53 of these were ever made, and although it is a supreme track weapon and very, very bespoke, it was actually in Jaguar's sales catalogues. You could buy it from their brochure. And that brings us so elegantly back to the beginning of this video, folks, where I shared the trophies that these cars actually won, that I think I'll leave it there. Get another episode soon, and don't forget, if you want a To The Garage calendar, order them at www.tothegarage.co.uk real soon. If you just go to Amazon/shop/To The Garage, it takes you to a To The Garage area of Amazon that is categorized into hand tools, power tools, gadgets and gizmos, things specifically the XK8, etc. that I've bought from Amazon over the years, so that you can follow the same links and have a look, see how much those cost at the moment. Nice little feature, thank you Amazon.
If you're enjoying our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notifications of new videos. And please give us a thumbs up or thumbs down, and you can share the videos. And below the video is always the area where you can comment and get involved with the chat.